Hello and welcome back for another amazing month of gaming in 2026. Now, May was a pretty stacked month, with 007 First Light giving us one of the best Bond experiences that we've had in years. Lego Batman honestly just being a really fun entry to the series, and Forza Horizon 6 still blowing people away with its massive Japanese open world racing. But June is here, and as we are currently entering the summer gaming season, it seems like it has some pretty good surprises to get things going. Like the remake of a highly anticipated CALX classic, a wild arcade brawler where you play as a literal train, and the grand return of a legendary Nintendo franchise. So, curious what June has in store for you? Then see for yourself. These are the top 10 games that you don't want to miss out on this June. Let's kick things off with one of the most atmospheric experiences of the year in CALX, a 3D action-adventure game with striking visuals that look to be inspired by the iconic sci-fi art of legendary French comic artist Moebius. In CALX, you play as the Seeker, a lone figure embarking on a solitary journey across the alien planet of Syro, as you fight back a mysterious corruption while uncovering the remains of a long-lost civilization. As you explore this gorgeous world, you'll master a diverse array of movement abilities, which makes this game feel like a mix between Metroid and Hyper Light Drifter, as these abilities will aid you not only in exploration, but also in combat. So, get ready to take that solitary journey when CALX drops on PC on June 3rd, with a console release expected sometime later this year. Next up, we're taking things back to the streets with NBA The Run, a new entry which breaks away from the traditional simulation of NBA 2K and instead brings a story-driven arcade-style basketball game that lets you build your own custom baller and travel across iconic real-world courts, all while facing off against NBA legends and rising streetball stars. With an emphasis on flashy crossovers, brutal ankle breakers, and a dynamic momentum meter that lets you unleash game-changing signature moves, The Run is looking to be the spiritual successor to NBA Street that fans have been waiting for. So, get ready to lace up when NBA The Run launches on PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X and S on June 9th. Next, we have one of the most unique creature collecting games that I've seen in Voidling Bound, a sci-fi monster taming action RPG where you play as a space wrangler, taking direct control of creatures called Voidlings, and evolving them through branching paths that change not just their abilities, but their appearance too, as you reclaim vibrant planets overrun by a devastating parasite. And unlike traditional monster tamers, combat here is fully real-time and in third person. So you'll be out there shooting, slashing, and slamming your way through enemies alongside your evolving companion. So far, I've seen people describe this game as Spore meets Warframe, and honestly, I'd say that's a pretty accurate description. So get ready to build your perfect creature when Voidling Bound launches on PC on June 9th. Now, things are about to get cosmic with Starseeker Astroneer Expeditions, a brand new standalone co-op adventure set in the Astroneer universe where you join the crew of the ESS Starseeker space station and work together with up to 4 players to tackle planet-wide objectives across multiple star systems. You'll collect powerful tech, earn reputation with the crew, and take on everything from ferocious aliens to hostile flora as the station moves on to new planetary destinations over time. So, get ready to explore the cosmos with your crew when Starseeker Astroneer Expedition launches into early access on PC, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and Nintendo Switch 2 on June 11th. Up next, a true cult classic returns with the highly anticipated Gothic Remake. Rebuilt entirely from the ground up in Unreal Engine 5, this game takes us back to the brutal and unforgiving mining colony of Corinus. Now, what made the original so special was its reactive world, deeply immersive simulation, and its punishing combat, which the remake promises to keep all of that intact while modernizing the clunky mechanics of the past. The factions of this game feel alive, as your choices with how you interact with them genuinely matter, and simply surviving the wildlife is a feat in and of itself. So get ready to return to the colony when Gothic Remake launches on PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X and S on June 15th. Now, things are about to get delightfully chaotic with Denshattack, a fast-paced arcade action game where you play as Emmy, a Denshattacker who controls a gravity-defying train, hurling through stages and performing skateboard-style tricks like ollies and kickflips, all while fighting back against a sinister mechacorp and a roster of insane bosses in a colorful dystopian Japan. This game honestly feels like a crazy mashup between Tony Hawk's Pro Skater and Thomas the Tank Engine, but trust me when I say that this concept works insanely well. So get ready to go off the rails when Denshattack hits PC, PS5, the Xbox Series X and S, and Nintendo Switch 2 on June 17th. Next up, the team behind Octopath Traveler is taking their gorgeous HD 2D art style in a brand new direction with the adventures of Elliot, the Millennium Tales, a full-on action RPG where you play as the adventurer Elliot, alongside your fairy companion, Faye, on a mission spanning 4 different time periods to unravel a 1,000-year-old mystery. The combat of this game has you utilizing up to 2 weapons at a time alongside Faye's magic, which will serve you well both in combat and when solving environmental puzzles. The game also features a 2-player co-op mode where you can have a friend take control of Faye. So, get ready to travel across the ages when the adventures of Elliot the Millennium Tale drops on PC, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and Nintendo Switch 2 on June 18th. Now, it's time to step back into the octagon with EA Sports UFC 6. Which looks to be the most technically impressive entry in this series so far. This entry sees a complete overhaul of what it's calling Fighter Authenticity, which is powered by markerless capture and the next generation of sapient technology, meaning athletes now move, strike, and react with unprecedented real-life accuracy, including real-time contact physics, a new ragdoll system, and detailed face and muscle reactions on every hit. The game also features brand new modes like Hall of Legends and The Legacy, which lets you relive the stories of UFC greats or carve out your own path from underground backrooms to the bright lights of the octagon itself. So get ready to fight your fight when EA Sports UFC 6 launches on PS5 and Xbox Series X and S on June 19th. Next, we have the grand return of Fox McCloud and the team in Star Fox, a remake of Star Fox 64 built exclusively for Nintendo Switch 2, which features a brand new prologue mission, full online co-op for the campaign, and an all-new 4v4 online battle mode pitting Team Star Fox against Team Star Wolf. With its stunning new visuals and branching storyline, this is looking to be the ultimate Star Fox experience. So, get ready to dual barrel roll when Star Fox launches exclusively on Switch 2 on June 25th. And finally, we're closing out the month with something a little bit different in Monopoly Star Wars Heroes vs. Villains, a team-based twist on the classic board game where you assemble squads of iconic Star Wars characters, each with their own unique abilities, and go head-to-head in either 2v2 or 3v3 matches across gorgeous 3D boards packed with iconic locations from across the entire saga. You'll buy up planets, build outposts, and trigger unique force events that can completely flip the board in a single turn, as this party game is sure to ruin some friendships in a galaxy far, far away. So, get ready to roll the dice when Monopoly Star Wars Heroes vs. Villains launches on PC, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and Nintendo Switch 2 on June 30th. Now, if those weren't enough for you, we do have a few honorable mentions to round out for the month, starting with BrokenLore Follow, a psychological horror prequel to BrokenLore Unfollow that explores the dark side of social media, coming to PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X and S on June 1st. Next up, we see the return of a pioneer for the puzzle horror genre with The 7th Guest Remake, bringing its iconic haunted mansion into the modern era on PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X and S on June 4th. Then we have Witchspire, an open-world survival adventure where you can join a coven, build your magical sanctuary, and cast spells to battle spirit familiars in either solo or co-op, hitting PC on June 10th. And finally, for real this time, we have the ultimate edition of a fighting game staple with Dead or Alive 6 Last Round, which brings its massive roster and all its improvements and updates to PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X and S on June 25th. And with that, we've wrapped up another month of games for 2026. Now, for me personally, I'm actually most excited for Denshattack. The game is such a wild concept, and let's be real, it looks so fun. I also plan to check out Gothic Remake at some point, as I've always been curious about the original, but I was never really willing to go through some of the struggles, seen as the game itself was pretty old. But now with the remake, I think this would be the perfect entry for me to finally get into it. And now, I'd love to hear from you. Which of these games are you looking forward to picking up for yourself this June? And if you want to see what else has been released this year, be sure to check out one of these videos right here.